This is the JB and Sandy Show podcast. You can listen live every morning on 103.1 in Austin or stream the show on the iHeartRadio app.
Hey, it's Sandy, and I recently read this study. Well, I didn't read the study. I read the article. It was from Harvard University that said it's really, really good to mix up your workout routines. You know, like if you've been running or walking or lifting weights, find something else to do, and you're going to live longer. Well, I'm glad I found it, and I'm glad that I found Pure Yoga. Go to pureyogatexas.com. They offer a bunch of different classes, and here's some of the ones that I have taken. I've taken the Inferno Hot Pilates class, which is great. I mean, you want to get a great workout, sweat a whole lot, and believe it or not, feel great when you leave. Sign up for that class. Maybe it's a Super 60 yoga class or a hot yoga class or any of their other classes that they offer at Pure Yoga. You're going to love this place. 2 locations, one north on Burnett Road, just off of 183, and another one downtown between 5th and 6th on Oakland. Get more information at pureyogatexas.com. Switch your workout routine up a little bit and go to pureyogatexas.com.
This is the JB and Sandy Show on Austin's 80 station, 103.1, streaming on the iHeartRadio app.
Steven Presley from at Thunder Pop TV is with us. He's going to tell us that there is something out there in the Marvel world that's for non-Marvel people. We'll get to it in just a sec. Don't forget, grab the podcast version of the show. It's available every day. Search JB and Sandy on the iHeartRadio app. Steven, tell us about this Marvel show for non-Marvel people.
Yeah, first of all, the title itself is pretty interesting. Who knew there was a superhero called Wonder Man? Not Wonder Woman, Wonder Man.
Why do they do that?
Wonder Man. It has no connection to Wonder Woman that we know of. In fact, Wonder Woman being DC, this being Marvel. But this is the first thing I've seen of Marvel in a long time that it didn't feel like you had to be caught up on all the Marvel shows and movies. And I think
the history, that's where I get lost.
The history. So that's one positive for this for non-Marvel fans. The other is that it has a very entertaining story. It's a good humor comedy. Great actors in it, but he's a actor struggling actor in Hollywood, and it's a really funny, humorous comedy story, kind of a dark comedy story about this guy trying to make it as an actor. The superhero stuff doesn't even come in until later. It's kind of a secondary part of the show, and there's not all these things where you have to have followed all these movies and shows. And I think this is a model that they're going to move to more in the future, not so much with the movies, but the TV stuff. So they'll have more of an outside audience that might be willing to watch a show randomly.
Yeah, that makes sense. And maybe reel them in there because it's too far down the road for guys like me and JB. I have no idea what's going on. I missed the boat. You know, when it was started, I can't catch up.
It feels like it's... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm just going to say the comic book movies are entertaining, but so many references are lost on me is all.
It feels like this is a brand new superhero. Like you can get in on the ground floor of this one and not have to know anything. I've seen the preview for this show. It actually looks pretty good.
Have you guys ever seen, speaking of superheroes and stuff, have you ever watched The Boys? I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Freaking hysterical.
So inappropriate.
Great.
And JB, are you familiar with this?
No.
Dark comedy,
It's superheroes that use their superpowers to serve themselves.
Yeah. And are kind of bothered when they have to help the public.
Yeah. I love it. It's
exactly what it is.
It's really funny is what it is. So this is Wonder Boy.
Wonder Man.
Wonder Man.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they'll have a Wonder Boy. Too.
If he meets Wonder Woman and they have a Wonder Baby, maybe
Wonder Woman wouldn't have anything to do with Wonder Man. They're probably related. That'd be weird. That'd be weird.
Maybe.
Where do we watch this, Steven?
You can find it on Disney Plus app.
Okay. It says in the notes, podcast studios in Austin. Too many?
Yeah. Every time I open up any social media channel, there's a new one opening up. I think it's starting to become the new CBD a vape shop on every corner, and you're wondering,
that's funny.
How do all these vape shops and CBD places manage to stay in business? Because they open up and they seem to stay around. A lot of them do, but they're like on every corner. There's more of them now in my neighborhood than there is actually 7-Elevens or convenience stores. So now podcast seems to be the new one that there's a lot of. So a gym called The Collective, which is a really fancy kind of upscale gym.
I know Collective. That's over near my neighborhood.
Yeah, and I think it's like 300 to start off with their membership there. But they're really nice gyms. They have a lot of amenities. Someone opened a podcast studio inside of one of their buildings just the other day. And some of the things they advertise in for like $200. Most of these studios you can rent an hour, $200, and you get 4K multi-camera. One of the things they're advertising is Netflix-ready content that fits into the Netflix broadcast quality.
Oh, just preaching to a sucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are there enough? I mean, I know there's a lot of podcasts now, but are there enough people with the money to spend to produce their podcast at this level?
That's
you might be
interesting.
surprised.
Yeah, because I don't mean to brag, but I've done a lot of podcast consulting.
Mm-hmm.
And I do send people to these rental studios. I said, try before you buy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they all want to jump right to the home studio, and it's like that's a major overhead cost. Yeah. Just rent for a while, and then people kept asking me, "Oh, you should open one of these rental places." And it's just by the time you pay your rent and insurance and staff or whatever, even if it's just me, it's like the economics are tough.
Yeah. I mean, even at $200 an hour, you'd have to have that thing rented a lot.
A lot.
Right.
To pay the bills and make a dollar or two.
And then are you on call if they're like, this doesn't work, or I don't know how to do this? Like,
oh, and then just think of the day in and out, having to deal with entitled podcasters that get 15 downloads.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to go, your friends don't even download your show. Your family. If you could get friends and family, you would have more downloads than this.
Right. I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's not a big number of downloads. Puts you in like the top 10% of podcasters.
It doesn't take much to get you into that percentile.
Right. But
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it doesn't take much to be in the top 10% of podcasters. And it's like, I don't know, it's not 15 downloads, but you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But you can do it pretty cheap at home. I mean, if you want to go, you can put out an audio only podcast with a very minimal investment.
Well, go look on Craigslist. It's podcast equipment is probably right up there with treadmills.
Yep. You're exactly right. Yeah. You're exactly right.
Things that are just sitting there that I was once ambitious about.
Yeah. Well, that's a good segue to your podcast, Steven. We need
he's really motivated to launch his podcast after this discussion.
Yeah, Netflix. I'm like, Netflix ready. We should explain the Netflix ready thing is for suckers. I mean, you have to have a tremendous following, tremendous amount of downloads for Netflix to put, because they've got a bunch of podcasts on there now. But they're not taking, Joe from South Austin talking about bass fishing.
Right. They're not like, but he's only got 25 downloads, but it is Netflix ready.
Yeah, right.
That's a plus. Yeah. They're not taking that into consideration.
Right. Steven's got a podcast coming out where they're talking to dead celebrities through a medium.
Yeah, through a medium. And it's literally called Talking to Dead Celebrities. How did we come up with that name?
Hey, that's smart. That's smart for SEO purposes. That's smart. So far, you're doing great.
That was kind of my angle. And I actually did research if there are any other popular podcasts with that title, and I couldn't find anything. So I think hopefully, fingers crossed, it works. We've now done a dress rehearsal. We feel like we're getting somewhere. I'm very OCD about preparing for something like this. So I've been taking my time. But we already know who the first 3 dead celebrities are.
You got them booked?
We have them booked. Hopefully nobody backs out and everybody shows up.
Yeah, and you were starting pretty high up there with Patrick Swayze's first guest, right?
Patrick Swayze. You got to do Patrick Swayze, Ghost. You got to do that first. Yeah, and then we're going to have Prince, who, was kind of hit or miss with interviews. Sometimes he would be present for
you never know what you're going to get with Prince in an interview.
Yeah. So
right. But don't try and book George Jones.
No, he won't show up.
He'll never show up.
Yeah. So when's your expected launch date?
We'll record next week. So soon after that, we should be able to drop them.
Can you do us a favor and get us a little clip of it that we can play on the radio show?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. We'll take a quick break. Still to come, more with Steven. We are going to talk about Tubi. And Steven says it's kind of the dollar store of your streaming services, but it's working. Also, Billy Bush, who JB and I have met a few times and is a good guy, put out some pretty controversial material and immediately took it down. Steven will tell us all about that coming up.
Need extra cash in your life?
The $1,000 payday is back this morning at 9. 103.1, Austin's 80s station.
Steven Presley is with us. Find him online everywhere on social at Thunderpop TV. Give him a follow on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the stuff. He's there and has an interesting take on Tubi. You may be familiar with Tubi because it's constantly trying to get you to watch shows on Tubi. Right?
I'm embarrassed for Tubi a little bit. Like
how'd you put it? It's like the pick me kid.
It's
right?
like the kid, pick me, watch me, pick me. Because when you open up YouTube TV and you go down to your recently watched apps, Tubi somehow has magically jumped to the front of the line, and I've never watched Tubi.
Right.
I'm just all, now you're embarrassing yourself, Tubi.
But you say it works, huh? It works, right, Steven?
They're trying so hard. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think, what the Temu app is for Amazon, I think Tubi is for Netflix. They're the Temu app of streaming, with the content being very kind of, funny B-movie, low budget films, low budget produced stuff. But and we were talking about podcasters earlier, for independent creators of film that are trying to distribute their documentary, Tubi's actually not a bad way in, especially with movie theaters, and the fan base of theatrical has kind of dropped in recent years. If you're looking for an audience for your content, Tubi's not a bad way to go. There is a real, plan from, point A to point B to getting content on Tubi. That's somewhat realistic.
If you got stuff there, you'll get noticed.
Yeah, you could get your, if you've got, first of all, you have a film, you can't get it anywhere else. Tubi might be a place. We were talking about how Tubi is desperate for, they're trying so hard to get people on their app, but they're also they're trying harder probably than anyone else to fill their app with content. So if you can get, a help with a licensed distributor, you can also work with a platform like Film Hub, which is an aggregator of the content, and get them to work with you. And if you've tried all your other outlets, you've done the film festival circuit, you haven't gotten distribution, Tubi's not a bad way to go.
Gotcha. All right, moving along to Billy Bush. He said he had some controversial content that he immediately took down.
Yeah, and so Billy Bush now is fully independent content creator. He was back on TV for a while after, and I agree with you. I thought he got a raw deal. The whole thing that happened years ago, he did get finally back. He made a comeback. He finally got back on TV. A lot of people are forgetting he had gotten a job on the Today Show before his controversy, and he got sort of kind of canceled. He had a Today Show job, then he was off TV, came back, was back on for 5 years, and now he's back off again, and he's a content creator independently. And so now he doesn't have the restrictions, hanging over his back. And one of the weird side stories about Billy Bush, by the way, we all know he's George W. Bush's nephew. His contract on television always had it that he could not talk about that or even mention it with the entertainment shows that he was on. So a lot of people, it was kind of something we knew, but we never actually heard him talk about it. Well, now he's on Instagram, and yesterday I saw a video, of course, the terrible story with Savannah Guthrie and her mom. And we all know the latest that's been happening with that, and it's a terrible story. But so Savannah Guthrie's mom, who's been missing, and now there's speculation, there's talk about kidnapping and things like that. So he actually made a video about it, and he worked with Savannah Guthrie because they were both on the Today Show together. And he says, Billy said, I'm not a conspiracy guy, but here's a little conspiracy. And he went there and he talked about Savannah Guthrie years ago. Before anyone else was willing to address the topic, she did interviews with the victims of the Epstein and the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. She did interviews, but somebody from the network, the company, pulled the interviews before they aired, and they were not allowed to air. And he was trying to kind of connect the dots there. If there was some conspiracy there. Anyway, he pulled that down within a few hours. I actually just happened to catch it, and then it was pulled down.
That's a reach.
Is it the one? Hold on. Is it the one that's titled the one Epstein Files cover up the one part that makes Billy go, Is it that episode?
It might be. It was on
From
yesterday.
2 days ago.
I tried to find it. Was it 2 days ago? I tried to find it yesterday or this morning, and I could not find it anymore. Is it? Do you see it?
I see it on Apple Podcasts right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he had. Well, this was on his
edited.
Instagram. Yeah, his Instagram. He took it down.
I mean, all politics aside, it's like he's a good broadcaster.
He is.
Oh, yeah.
He's a real broadcaster too. It didn't hurt that his last name was Bush, but he's good. He was a radio guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't blame him if he has a really good angle on that. I mean, you're trying to, you're competing with all the other entertainment outlets out there as an independent creator. If he's got a good angle on that, I mean, I would have done it. I thought I had a good angle on it myself.
You know what helps him is he's got a great contact list.
Yeah.
Yeah. That helps getting Billy Bob Thornton on your show. That helps. Things like that. So, well, good for Billy Bush. Last thing, it says celebrity documentaries.
Yeah. So, we were talking about this a few weeks ago about the celebrity docs and how they were starting to get kind of into deep cut. Started off with like the real A-listers. They did, a celebrity doc series on Netflix, Stallone, Schwarzenegger. And then, then we had Eddie Murphy recently. Then we started getting into, we got the Counting Crows. I know you were mentioning JB. There was a Counting Crows doc series.
They made their own, right?
Yeah, they produced it themselves. Yeah, and that's the other thing too on some of these is they're being independent. They're being produced by the people themselves. Yeah. Like Eddie Murphy produced his own documentary, his own doc series. He's it's like, hey, I want to do a documentary about me. And that's
right.
That's what's happening. But there's still, I think they are going to get into some deep cuts. We're not too far away from Right Said Fred or
oh Lord,
the Rico Suave guy is probably sitting somewhere just thinking, can he get away with doing one? Like would people watch it?
That you just made me think of something. The guy from Milli Vanilli was up for a Grammy this year. Did he win?
Oh,
it was a spoken word. He did an audio book, I think.
I hope he did.
Rob or Fab? I don't remember which one.
One of them is no longer with us.
Rob is the guy I think who's still alive. Fab's the one that unfortunately passed away.
Rob Moran. Right?
I believe Fab's the one that passed. Yeah.
I sent him a photo of I had a street artist named Truth come paint on my back wall, retaining wall. Mm-hmm. It says, "Girl, you know it's true."
Oh, nice.
It's my wife loves Milli Vanilli, and I posted a picture on Twitter. It was Twitter back then, and he replied. He's like, "That's cool."
Oh, that's
for what it's worth.
That's very awesome. Cool.
Yeah, I'll find out. I'll look it up and see if he actually won. I know he was nominated, and talk about making that story full circle, right? Because that was the worst thing that happened to them.
Getting nominated,
winning back in the day.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because then it was exposed they were lip syncing all of them. So, Steven Presley, he's easy to find at Thunderpop TV. Go follow him there. We've got a chance for you to win $1,000 coming up at 9 o'clock.
1031austin.com.
Hey, it's Sandy, and I recently read this study. Well, I didn't read the study. I read the article. It was from Harvard University that said it's really, really good to mix up your workout routines. So, like if you've been running or walking or lifting weights, find something else to do, and you're going to live longer. Well, I'm glad I found it, and I'm glad that I found Pure Yoga. Go to pureyogatexas.com. They offer a bunch of different classes, and here's some of the ones that I have taken. I've taken the Inferno Hot Pilates class, which is great. I mean, you want to get a great workout, sweat a whole lot, and believe it or not, feel great when you leave. Sign up for that class. Maybe it's a Super 60 yoga class or a hot yoga class or any of their other classes that they offer at Pure Yoga. You're going to love this place. 2 locations, one north on Burnett Road, just off of 183, and another one downtown between 5th and 6th on Oakland. Get more information at pureyogatexas.com. Switch your workout routine up a little bit and go to pureyogatexas.com.
Well, that's it. Do us a solid and copy and paste the link to this episode and send it to a friend or two. Thanks for listening.